All right, let's get straight to it. This episode is probably the most frustrating one because now I see why this dude only got 4 years. Episode 4, the last episode of Sean Combs' The Reckoning Netflix, episode 4 called Blink Again. Um, I I am so pissed off. I don't even know where to start. Okay. First of all, so they start off episode 4 talking about Diddy's assistant, Capricorn something. We call it Capricorn. I think it's Capricorn, right? Is it Capricorn? Did I just make that up? I'm sorry. I watched these joints like I can't remember these names. Clark. It's like Capricorn Clark, right? Carter Miss Clark. So Miss Clark was the assistant to Diddy for I don't remember the time period, but for a minute, sometime in like the 2010s, for a good minute, and she talks about the first day of getting the job of being Diddy's assistant. The first day, she gets driven to the park by Diddy. They walk in the park, and Diddy's like, "Hey, I didn't know you was connected to Suge Knight." Now, Capricorn Clark, who was a former assistant to Diddy, was best friends with Suge Knight's baby moms. So that's how she was connected with him. But she didn't really rock with Suge. It was his baby moms. They're best friends to this day. They're walking in the park, Central Park. And he's like, if this thing goes left, I gotta kill you, right? Just like that, first day. It's just, she's like, okay. And she talks about how her mom was like an addict, and she could tell addict behavior from the jump, and he clearly was on something, and he clearly had erratic behavior. But it's like, that's her introduction to the job. Now, some of you may be like, why didn't you leave? Great question. I don't know. Like that one, I don't want. Like, I don't know if she explained why she didn't leave, but clearly, come on, you connected with Diddy during this time. He's still like selling Ciroc, and got making a band now and all these different things, and it's just like, okay, whatever. It just and so they talk about how he was just, again, Diddy knew how to be a great promoter, a great marketer, sell this lifestyle, sell like this image that he really wasn't. And so then he started talking about Diddy working on his most recent project, the Love album, with the producer being Little Rod, who's like one of the main producers on the album. And then he's talking about stuff that he saw, like, for instance, Diddy and his son, I forget which one, see this dude called G. And Lil Rod said his name is G. I have no idea what what his whole name is. But they walk into like the bathroom. Lil Rod is working on beats, right? And then you hear a pow pow. And Rod's like that like accidentally hit a keyboard or something? Like, what the? And so Diddy and his son leave the room. He walks in, blood everywhere, right? So now he's calling the medics and everything. And he's like, after the medics come and the police come, everybody leave, and everybody in the studio, because they was in the studio at the time, everybody was acting like nothing happened. They're like, what? Yeah, everybody acted like nothing happened. Like, it was just a regular day in the neighborhood. Everybody went back to making their music or doing whatever they was doing. Like there was a regular occurrence. Like, there was nothing to... And I'm like, that was just one day. Like, that was just one day. And then he talks about how on a regular basis, he would just start randomly wake up dizzy, disoriented, and there would be women next to him that he doesn't recognize, or Diddy would be next to him. And he'd be like, what the hell? and like didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, they're showing, because Diddy was documenting everything during this time. This was like 2022. They're showing Diddy in the studio. He's just messing up. He can't get the lyrics right. And he's telling Lil Rod and the other producers, like, hey, just know if I'm lukewarm, you ain't hot. Like, don't think that I'm gonna be lukewarm and y'all gonna be hot. Like y'all not gonna be bigger than the program. Like, really trying to manipulate these producers and engineers to be like, don't think you better than me. Don't think you're gonna get better than me. Don't think you can do stuff without me. Like, that's the tactics that he used, right? And so we get to a point to where Lil Rod just, and the crazy part is he didn't even tell the story that he told on the other joint, the fall of Diddy, to where he witnessed him in the shower and trying to talk to him while he was in the shower. They didn't even talk about that one. Like, but there's so many stories. And Lil Rod was like, yo, I was just playing the game. I was just trying to, go along to get along, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking once the album finally dropped, I'm going to get paid. Now we know how the story go. When it comes to Diddy and really the music industry, we know how the story go. Of course, he doesn't get paid. So now he's pissed. And now it's like a month later, Diddy is saying, oh, I just ain't got the money right now. He's leaving mad voicemails to Lil Rod, which Lil Rod as a name is crazy. I'm just saying, respectfully. But, Diddy is leaving all these voice messages because Lil Rod's starting to be like, I can't call him Lil Rod. Rod is like, yo, I need my money. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, and, Sean Diddy keeps being like, yo, I'm going to get your money. Like, I know you as a guy in the hats and fun-loving dude. Don't make me look at you a different way. Like, he's doing, like he's doing Rod a favor because, like, don't make me look at you a different way. Right? It's like, bro, you owe him money. Like, you're not doing me no favors. I don't care how you look at me. Give me my money. Give me my money. Like, what are you talking about? It's so... eventually, about a month after the album dropped, Rod still ain't got paid. Then the Cassidy video dropped. And now it's like, oh, snap. And so, this is where Lil Rod drops his lawsuit against Diddy for unpaid wages and assault and all these different things. And so, it just, again, it's crazy to me how there's so many people, and I want to be careful how I say this, but it's like there's so many people around Diddy that witnesses things, get involved in things, and none of them, it's almost like every single one of them are like, well, I needed the money, I needed the fame, I needed the whatever, so I just played along, right? And it's like, and again, I want to be careful because I don't want the victim blame whatever, shame whatever, but it's like, bro, like so many people around Diddy just saw the abuse he did and just was like, I didn't do anything. I couldn't do anything, which I don't even know how to feel about that. But again, throughout this last episode, we start really talking about the different other cases Diddy would have. And they even talk about a story. They talk about a story with Aubrey from Danity Kane. How after the Cassie situation and the video drop and the lawsuit, people started to sue Diddy, and there was an affidavit that was sent to Aubrey to where she is being told, hey, this is around 2010, I think, around that time period, to where this random person who's anonymous is like, she was like trying to go to the bathroom and she was opening doors because she couldn't find the bathroom, opened the door and saw Diddy and like some dude sexually assaulting Aubrey. And Aubrey looked inebriated, like she didn't know what was going on. Meanwhile, Aubrey is reading this, right? Because it's the first time, she says, it's the first time I'm reading this, but she's reading this affidavit. And it's like, well, I don't get drunk. I don't remember this. And there's so many stories of people saying, Lil Rod was like, I don't remember this, right? And Aubrey's like, I don't remember this. And I like, there's a lot of people saying they don't remember these stories, and people are telling them that they were assaulted. It's like, that is so scary, bro. And it's like, yeah, so she's reading, Aubrey is reading this affidavit about how she was assaulted, again, how she was out of it. And she's like, well, I don't remember that, but at the same time, I don't want to remember it. So either this person is lying, which if she is lying, or he is lying, whoever the person is, that is the anonymous person that made this affidavit, if this person's lying, now this person can take down the whole thing. Now I'm going to be taking down the whole situation, because now Diddy can point to that person, see, be like, hey, that person is lying. All these other people are lying. So now it falls back on Aubrey. And it's just like, that's so crazy, because like on one end, she doesn't want to look into it because she's too afraid to find out what could have happened to her, because again, it's so scary. She doesn't remember it. At the same time, she doesn't want to find out that it's false either, because if it is, then there's a possibility you can help interrupt all the other cases that is on Diddy. So it's kind of like a catch-22 to where it's a lose-lose. But it's just so scary that there's so many people that have that same story of them being around Diddy and not remembering being assaulted by him or people around him. And they go back to present day, and he's talking. They videotape him talking to his lawyers, talking to his sons, and how he's walking in New York, and people still taking pictures with him. And it's like he knew he knew what was finna happen. Like he knew, he was just waiting for him to get arrested. He was just waiting for it because he had people in high places. So eventually Diddy gets arrested, and this is when people are finding out about everything that's going on. But then we get to, I want to say it's Kalani, right? Kalani? I want to say it's Kalani. We're going to say it's Kalani. Then we get to Kalani, which I don't even know where to start with this chick. Kalani, I want to say it's Kalani. I could be getting it wrong. Who was part of who was a part of Dirty Money with her and Dawn Richards. Dawn Richards has a lawsuit against Diddy, right, for assault and all these different things. Kalani is like, I never saw any of that. I don't know what Dawn is talking about. I don't know what Dawn's talking about. I ain't never seen nothing, right? So then she talks about her story about her having problems getting custody of her son and going to Diddy needing $5,000 for some lawyers so she can get her son. And Diddy's like, nah, I can't do it. Then Diddy spins the block not too long after all these lawsuits come out and Dawn comes out. He calls Kalani like, hey, I need a favor, bro. Like, these people trying to come after me, I need you to put in a word for me. I need you to post something and be my credibility, And Kalani's like, yo, that's effed up. Like, I'm trying to get custody of my son. That's effed up for you to come around here. But guess what? She did it. She posts on IG about how she never saw any bad things that are being accused of him, which probably is true. And also, she did an interview which wasn't in the doc, but I remember her doing an interview where she was dogging Dawn, right? And she kept saying Dawn and Diddy had this weird relationship, Now, Dawn never spoke up. I think I've seen multiple docs. Dawn ain't said one word, so I don't know. But, clearly Dawn and Diddy had some type of weird situation. I don't know. But I'm so disappointed in Kalani. Again, is that her name? That's her name, right? Kalani? So disappointed in her because she will still go on to do these things and speak up for Diddy, knowing that he wouldn't do the same for you. It's almost like Stockholm Syndrome. Like, And then and then she plays a voicemail from Diddy, which he was not supposed to be contacting any witnesses or anybody involved in any of these lawsuits or cases. And Kalani's all keying like, oh my God, yeah. Right? Because Diddy says like, you know, you my A1, day one, da da da. I know if at my funeral you're gonna be jumping in the casket because you my rib or whatever he said. And she was like, yo, that's true. I love him. Yo, that's true. It was like, man, these motherfuckers. It's so crazy, bro. I'm so pissed off. So pissed off. So then they talk about they spin the block back on Capricorn Clark. Again, he was the assistant and eventually become like the global manager of Diddy's businesses or whatever. And so she talks about how Cassie, I still can't believe how Cassie was spending time with Cudi, and how one day Cassie calls Capricorn talking about, hey, can Cudi come out with us to hike? Like she's a child. Like she's a freaking child. And then Capricorn's like, first of all, you already know he can cheat, you can't cheat. Why are you even bringing me in this? You know this is not going to be good. Like, what are you doing, right? But Cudi does eventually hike with Cassie and Cudi eventually hike with Capricorn and all that. Like the next day, Diddy pops up on Capricorn, like, yo, what's going on? Right, da 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 da. Like, what like, and Capricorn's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? He's like, Cudi, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Come here, we about to kill him. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, come along, we about to kill him. We about to go. Like, come on, let's go. And he has a gun to her head or whatever. So now he's kidnapping. And so now they're riding to Kid Cudi's house so they can kill him. And now she's going to be an accessory. And so they break in, well, not they. Diddy breaks into Cudi's house. And luckily, Cudi was not there. Capricorn is calling Cassie like, yo, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, he breaking into Cudi's house. He's about to, like, he wants to kill him. Like, what's going on? Meanwhile, Cudi was with Cassie. And so this is where the infamous blowing up the car and all that happens. But eventually Cassie meets up with Diddy, gets beat up, and Capricorn witnesses all of this. And verbatim, what she said is, I could have easily got him at that point. This is in 2010. I could have got him on kidnapping, attempted murder, breaking and entering, domestic violence. I could have got him on all that in one day. But she said, this man means too much to the culture to where I would not embarrass him because it would be a black guy on the culture. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what do you, like, how do you reply to that? The same thing with Cosby, Kelly, all these people. People are so afraid to go against these people because they mean so much to a culture. It's like, what does that even mean at the end of the day? It means nothing. But I understand what she's saying, though. I understand what she's saying, but it's like, damn. This whole, you mean too much to the culture, like, man, come on. But I get what she's saying at the same time. And so eventually Capricorn does get fired because she kept the secret of Cudi and Cassie being together. Meanwhile, again, Diddy was doing his own thing, never stay loyal to any woman, but expects his woman to be loyal to him. Whatever. So she gets fired. And then they're finally talking about the trial, and the trial going down back in May of this year. And so they talk about how Diddy only got charged with like the small charges, none of the big ones, none of the RICO and any of the other stuff. And he bring up 2 jurors. Now I'm gonna try, cause this is gonna be on YouTube, right? I'm gonna try everything in my power not to wild out, but all I'm gonna say is these jurors proved why Diddy did not get more time. they easily proved by their incompetence, their lack of empathy, and intelligence why Diddy didn't get more serious charges. They bring up the media, right? They talk about the media and how the media helped play a role in the image of Diddy and what was going on in the trial, and how Diddy had his own PR team at the courts and everything, and bloggers, were very heavily involved in the whole trial of Diddy, right? And how the bloggers were trying to manipulate the masses about what was really going on, and stuff that wasn't happening in the trial was being spread as if it did happen, right? And so they talk about how the jurors were not supposed to be on social media. They're not supposed to be, not even supposed to really be looking at Diddy while they're in the courtroom or nothing like that. They talk about the Cassie video, and they ask one of the jurors, this black lady, they're like, do you think Diddy is violent? This woman, with a smirk on her face, was like, well, according to that one video, he can be. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, are you serious, bro? Like, this can't be life. There's got to be more. It can't be us. Shout out Scarface, Beans, and Hove. Like, what? Shout out to Ye on the beats. Like, this can't be life. Like, what do you mean he can't be? He's violent. What are you talking about? And they kept, in the one, I don't want to misrace the dude, but he was like a person of color. I want to say maybe an Indian descent, but I don't want to but he was a person of color. He was like, well, clearly they were just deeply in love, and I can't understand why she would stay with someone that was beating on her and all these different things. This dude had a nerve to say if she really was in trouble, she should have left. And I'm like, during my watch along, I was like, nigga, there's a video of her trying to leave the hotel room and literally got her ass whooped and dragged back into the room. Clearly, she did not feel that she could leave the situation for whatever reason. I'm not saying Cassie was an angel the entire time, but I am saying for you to be that ditzy, to be like, well, if she wanted to leave, why didn't she leave? Where there's literally a video of her trying to leave. Same thing for the black woman. This girl talking about, I wasn't really, of course I lived during the era, raised during the era of, Biggie, 112, Day 26. I said, whoa. As soon as I heard Day 26, I said, we in trouble. Because you can get off Biggie. Of course, everybody know Biggie. You can get off 112, where the player hairs dwell. I'm like, okay, cool. But when she said Day 26, I said, whoop. There's murky waters here. This chick had a nerve to be talking about, like, the jurors are not supposed to be watching or look at the Diddy at all. Like, if you do that, you'll get booted out of there. But I would look at Diddy once or twice, and he would make these faces, and we be making the same faces, and like, can you believe this? Like, no, again. I'm like, yo, these jurors were starstruck and whacked out. They had the nerve to talk about Capricorn, who was talking about the situation she had where she got kidnapped and they broke into Kid Cudi's house, or Diddy broke into Kid Cudi's house, and she was forced to be there. And they're like, I just didn't believe it. Like, she was too emotional, and emotions can fog judgment and thoughts and memory and stuff. And I'm like, hold on. So someone is talking about getting kidnapped and have a gun to the head and being forced to break into someone's house, and also being afraid for Cassie. Like, she don't know what he's going to do to Cassie, going to do to Cudi if he sees him. Like, she's supposed to be calm while she's giving that information. Like, how is she supposed to be? And this is the problem I have with the world and society. People want perfect victims. They want victims to act a certain way, talk a certain way, look a certain way, be a certain way. And it's like, that's not how life works. And clearly you don't know anybody that has dealt with anything of this serious matter, or you have too much of a lack of empathy to comprehend it. I don't know. But the way the jurors, there's only 2 jurors that was in this doc, and the way they were talking, clearly they were not up to the task to be part of this trial. And it literally broke my brain that this black woman was talking about, yo, Diddy sometimes would move his head. And I'm like, yo, that's what he used to do in Making the Band. That's how he used to move his head back in Making the Band, like this. I'm like, who selected these jurors? She clearly knows, like, she's a fan of war. Like, what the fuck? Yo. Whacked out, bro. Whacked out, dog. Like, huh? But yeah, it's like, it clearly showed, oh yeah. Yeah. That's why Diddy only got 4 years. Also, I still don't believe he technically had a RICO, because it's hard to prove that a one-man RICO. Like, you have to involve other people. But yeah, like, they just kept showing how many times Diddy got away with stuff. Like, one of the founders of Bad Boy and Kirk, like took him to court back in 2003 about the same thing that he's in court for now, low key. Not low key, high key. And like, I don't even remember this being a thing. I don't remember this being in the news because it got dismissed because I don't remember why. But it's just like, now he is left on the street. He was homeless, all these different things. But he was owed his money. He gave away his 25% of the company due to violence, what he didn't want to do. He was coercing and doing that. He's witnessing all this assault and everything. He's saying he was sexually assaulted himself. All these different things. And it's like, now I'm homeless because I try to do the right thing. I try to speak up for myself and other victims. And he was just too powerful. And that's really the story. Because even when he gets out, who knows what he's going to do? And that's, people keep saying that's why I didn't come forward, because you see and hear all these different things going on. I think he's going to come after me. And again, like, why wouldn't you? This dude is a maniac, bro. And so it's like, I just feel so bad for all the victims. Because part of me is like, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you do something? But then another part of me is like, I mean, if the dude is kicking and shooting and doing all this stuff, blowing people's cars up, like, you probably would think twice before you double cross him. You probably would think twice. It's like, you got people being drugged, not remembering what happened the night before and all this different thing. Like, it's just like, damn, bro, this dude was truly a monster, dog. But yeah, that was episode 4, bro. It was so frustrating to see all these people, like, just helpless. It's like, damn, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do? But yeah, that's the Sean Combs, The Reckoning. This was, man, this is messed up. Just messed up all the way around. And the fact that he only got 4 years and probably gonna get out on good behavior and all these different things. And it's just like, he will never get to pay for all the crimes he committed, bro. Like, countless crimes. It is so infuriating and frustrating that he got away with all that stuff. Like, he could have been in jail so many times and kept getting away, somehow, some way. And got this God complex to where he really thought he could do anything to anyone, to anybody. So, yeah, he eventually got caught, but it just, man, too little, too late in my opinion. But at least, and that's why I was like, you can't ever look to the courts or the criminal justice system for justice, because it's just not there. Like, it's just not there, bro. Like, it just ain't. It ain't just at all. But yeah, let me know how you feel about episode 4 and the whole docuseries alone. I thought it was very informative. There's some things I did not know, some things that reminded me of stuff that I did know that I blocked out. But yeah, man, like the fact that this dude was, I'll never forget. I think he was the first one to coin the phrase "Black excellence." Like he was one of the first ones to really coin that phrase, in my opinion. I remember him saying it. And it was like all that was a facade. It was like the Wiz or the Wizard of Oz, right? He claims to be all these different things, a rapper, producer, all these different things, and family man and mogul and all these different. And you come to find out when you peel the curtain back, he was really none of those things. He used everyone around him to act like as if he was really this talented business mogul that he really wasn't really at the end of the day. Yeah, that's just disappointing, man. But yeah, that's Sean Combs' The Reckoning, man. That's crazy, bro. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share all the things are the things. Ain't gonna go home. Do gotta get to stepping. Peace.
Did you tell me this was over?